right? Reza, right?
Reza.
Reza, and his guard, I don't remember the name of.
I started recording halfway through that recap. It's going to be very jarring, but oh well.
Oh well.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Muffin the Guildmaster, here again with...
ZakPak, hi, that's me. By the way, I can't see gameplay footage, so that might be something you might want to...
Oh, right, I need to do the screen share again.
Yeah, it's kind of important, or I can't read. There we go.
Okay. Good catch there.
Yeah, that, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do anything otherwise. Now, here's another thing. I don't remember what happened right before I have to choose this thing, so I don't know.
Basically what happened before this is after going to the production facility, we went to the cafe to get breakfast where Reza gave us a rather cryptic warning that something might be happening.
Yeah.
And so, with that, we decided it's probably best to keep a low profile and just hang out at home. And then the reporter Lorem delivered his letter, and it went on about how looking through it and trying to find some sort of algorithm within the statements or letters or something like that, there was nothing to be found.
Okay, yeah, I remember that, because he sent us a message that was like so lighthearted and goody-goody, which we know that isn't his usual language. So just choose one. Okay, so I'm definitely not going to go with the first one. So I think we should probably read more between the lines.
Right, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to do something
dang
with OBS. Well, I'm worried that if I keep the thing I put on there, it's not going to record my audio properly. Alright, so you remember I mentioned before that there was a puzzle which is less of a puzzle and more just randomly explore until you find the answer?
Yes, and this is probably it, isn't it?
Yes, it is this one. If you want, I can let you take the reins and just sort of go around a bit. There's a few fun things you can find, or I can immediately take us to the solution.
No, let me figure it out. I got this. I am smarticles. I got this.
Okay.
Does it matter which one we choose, or it could just be anything?
I mean, kinda.
I mean, I was gonna go read between the lines or look elsewhere for hints.
Well, read between the lines is like take a closer look at the letter, and look elsewhere means like look around the apartment.
Well, the thing is, I don't know what else would help us around the apartment. That's the thing. So do we come back to this decision? Like, can we switch later on or something?
Yeah, you aren't like timed or anything for this.
Okay, so let's read between the lines first. Oh, duh, I gotta read now.
Yep.
Lines, of course. Maybe I was supposed to read between them? I didn't have an implement on me. With which I would have been able to read the fine print. Though, with this I wouldn't have done anything of the sort.
You cut out about halfway through that last part.
Dang it. Though, with this handwritten letter, I doubt Reza could have done anything of the sort. Oh, okay, that was useless. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look elsewhere for him. Or maybe he referred to the fact that we were both given an apartment, considering the things they provided for us. Maybe I just have to find the right object to decode the message. There were many everyday items here, though, and of course I still had no idea what in particular I was looking for. Okay. Look at the bookshelf, bathroom, kitchen. Let's look at the bookshelf first. That makes the most sense. The bookshelf is stocked with quite a variety of books on different topics. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at an individual book. Look behind the book. Well, I don't think behind it an individual book.
I heard that you were talking, but I heard nothing else. I caught nothing of substance in that statement.
Look at an individual book. Maybe it has something to do with the books. The shelf is full of them, but I suppose the hint could be hidden inside one of them. Oh, Jesus freaking Christ. Okay. The salt of the human born to serve, price and prayer, the Isoman sphere and how to use it. Well, if he's talking about a warning, let's start with born to serve.
Okay.
We have to. Okay. We have to read. Oh god. Okay. Chapter 1: Rise from the Ashes. From the day I was born, I knew I was destined for greatness. As a member of the Avdonian household, nothing less was expected from me. My father, Avdon the Sixth, made sure of that. My mother, however, was a worm. Not literally, mind you. She was not some sort of annelid squirming beneath the earth and living in filth. No, she was just what I would describe as the lowest form of life.
Same.
That would be sometimes. Not concerning herself with matters of any importance, she instead sought to base her existence off superficialities. Not that it mattered much, as I grew to hate them both equally. For those who may want to critique me now for saying this, I have no doubt of my father's political achievements, yet only those who had to live with him know that these successes came at the price of his very soul, an empty shell of a dragon driven by nothing but his performance as a politician, not as a father. Politician, huh? I wonder what the actual government's like. Okay, I'm learning something. Okay. Let's go to Assault of the Humanoids from Outer Space. It's like a cat. Arc 1. It was a dark and stormy night. Wow, that's a cliche start. Relentlessly pouring was the rain outside, periodically interrupted by the loud echo of thunder again and again. So quick had its roaring staccato become that it almost seemed like someone was pounding against the door. No, someone really was pounding against the door right now. The door swiftly opened, and at the moment for which the house's owner had waited decades, finally was here. Not on the field of battle do you meet me, human scum, but in the comforts of my own home do you seek to assassinate me? Feel my wrath! May it lead you to a slow and painful D-E-A-T-H. Whoa, he screamed at the top of his lungs. I need water after that one, holy cow.
Your resistance will only temper my blade, inferior creature. Taste my blade and die from it.
The reply wryly came from the human invader standing within the door frame. Hyro quickly stabbed him with his Magipen, a lethal hit which caused the human invader to slump to the ground instantly. His last words being, "Damn you,
Hyro. This is not over yet."
While he meddled into a red blotch, blotching up Hyro's carpet, or hero.
Either or.
Hyro looked up into the sky and realized all the thunder and rain had really been the UFOs of the invaders, numerous enough as to rival the raindrops falling from the sky. This was the moment when he knew it was too late. This meant war. Really? An invasion by human aliens? Is this what they think we're like? Well, we don't think that much positively of dragons, do we?
Well, depends on the story you read.
Fair. Draconic desire. From this point, it's all guesswork. Oh, I don't like to laugh. I was so young and naive back then, barely having researched at the age, or barely reached the age, which the arduous process of finding a mate, oh no, settling down and finding a family became expected. Yet none of my peers interested myself. They were childish and crude and uncultured. I don't like where this is going. I was lost in a sea of uncertainty, drifting, hoping to be found by the one day. And then I did. How fast time flies when you're happy. I can't believe this was just 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I found the one. A truest soulmate there could ever be, or there ever could be. Like a wrecking ball. I came in like a wrecking... Sorry. He came out of nothing, breaking all the barriers and entered my life.
I was gonna make the same reference.
Yup. 2 weeks ago, I was nothing. Today, I am the happiest dragon alive. Who knew that out of all the people alive, it only took the right one to right life itself? Who knew that to meet the perfect one, the only thing you needed was...
A penis.
I don't think that was wordplay. Okay, I knew the two that I did earlier had some sort of substance to it. Oh, and who let this mess ever get to... You should just write. Let's see, price and prayer. How to use it. Let's do price and prayer. I might as well go through the other two. Preface. In the 1462nd, oh my god, that numbered year since our ascent to sentience, a most extraordinary chain of events led to the most extraordinary of circumstances in our politics and society. These events have since been buried in history until I stumbled upon the records of these tumultuous times.
Tumultuous?
Tumultuous, thank you.
You're welcome.
I did not know what that word was.
You're fine.
We all have those moments.
Yeah. Right. I had to continue the text.
I was like, I'm kind of waiting. I've taken it upon myself to dramatize the events in a manner that is both accurate to history as well as entertaining to any reader who might have an interest in such stories. This is not just for my own personal gain, as I hope to make this story available to a larger audience than just a few who have permission to visit the archives. I believe the wisdom to be gained from the ensuing tale to be more relevant to us now than ever. Okay, so that one is also nothing. Okay. Okay, let's read the last one. Why not? Go for it. As a manual meant for the general populace, this book intends to bring you, the valued reader, closer, oh my god, that's a lot, closer to the uses and joys of an Eichmann sphere might bring. I have taken utmost care to use simple language and instructions to remove the well-known barrier between individuals and knowledge of proper use of this most wondrous device. For those interested, for interested parties, a chapter about the Eichmann sphere's history and ideas for advanced applications can be found later in the book. Quick start guide. Step 1. Place your Eichmann sphere on a flat, stable surface. Make sure the surface is indeed stable and flat. Okay, these are some simple things here. Expert tip. Use a spirit level in order to determine if a surface is absolutely horizontal in order to prevent the Eichmann sphere from rolling off the table unintendedly. Step 2. Plug your Eichmann sphere into any fitting household outlet. Warning. Make sure the Eichmann sphere's power switch is in the off position prior to plugging it in. Step 3. Locate the power switch on the Eichmann sphere. This step may introduce some difficulties, as many different models of ice and spheres exist with varying methods of turning them on and off. When in doubt, please contact your ice and spheres manufacturer to help with this step if necessary. This is useless! This is stupid! But now I know how to work an ice and sphere, whatever that is. Okay, so really...
Normally you'd get an achievement for that.
But presuming you already got it.
Yes, I have all of the achievements. I have done everything in this game.
So hold on, you're telling me that the first 2 books I chose were actually the right ones, and then the other 3 I read were pointless.
They were all pointless.
Wait, really? All of them?
I mean, they provide some fun insight into the culture of the world, but outside that, not really.
Oh, I thought we were getting somewhere with the first one with the government and policy stuff.
I don't remember if you remember my warning. There's very few hints you find as to the actual answer to this quote-unquote puzzle. It's more a chance to just look around.
Oh, well, we might as well look behind the books since we're here. Maybe Reza left another message here at some point. He could have known that I was going to live here, so I suppose it is possible that he helped me with the preparations and hid something for me to find. We're gonna find nothing, aren't we? It's literally gonna be nothing. I already know it. Nope! I knew it! Knew it! Absolutely nothing. Oh, wait, no. No, even after removing every single book from the shelf, there's still no indicator of anything that would help me decode his secret message. But even if Reza did leave a hint, this could have been anywhere in the apartment and not just on this bookshelf. Speaking of, now we go back. Bathroom or kitchen? Why would you leave something in the bathroom? Go to the kitchen. Kitchen makes sense. I mean, it really doesn't, but more sense in the bathroom. Look in the fridge, look in the pantry. What? Okay, look in the fridge. Maybe he left something in my Fruity Flakes. Oh wait, that wouldn't be in the fridge. Regardless, plenty of stuff in here. Crack open an egg and look inside? Examine a little, okay. Okay, we're gonna look at the milk. Milk cartons have...
Okay, all I heard is we're gonna look at the milk.
Yeah, let's look at the milk. Pasteurized. At least they've got that down. Oh, please don't tell me that was it. Okay, that was it. Okay. Let's see. Let's crack open an egg. Why not? They do that in stupid stuff. If it's okay, just regular egg. Did we make a mess? Did we spill the egg stuff? Okay. Wait, can we crack open another egg? Nope, just regular egg? Okay, forget the egg. Okay. Let's look at the unlabeled container. So there's white liquid inside. Well, here goes nothing. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's salty. Oh, no. Ew.
You drank a mystery liquid.
Ew.
That's another
Oh,
achievement you get.
It's just a spot of meat. Nothing special about it. Okay, screw the kitchen. Actually, no, screw the fridge. Go back.
You don't want to crack open another egg?
Yeah, screw it. One more egg. Let's go. One more egg. That's just a regular egg. Okay. What happens if we crack a dozen?
Do you want to try?
No, that's gonna
Okay.
take up way too much time. Screw the egg. Okay, let's go to the pantry. Here's where I do look about the Fruity Flakes. Just some fruits and veggies here. Oh, is there nothing else to that? Oh, well, there is. Okay, date, fig, pear, grape, lemon. Wait, a singular grape? Not just grapes, it's one grape? Let's look at the grape.
Grape.
So, Daddy Grape finds his kids crying and asks, "What's wrong, kid?" But through all the tears, the kid couldn't get a single word out. Eventually, Daddy had enough, so he says, "Stop, wit." No, I won't say it. Oh, no whining. Ha, 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 ha. Good joke. Ugh. Okay, let's do date. Oh my god. If I put it on the floor and step on it, what would happen? What? I'd be going on a date. Oh, he's gonna be able to do stupid puns. But no, there's no hint here. All right, let's go for the fig. Let's go. What do I know about figs? Quite a bit, actually. Figs are ripe in history, or ripe with history, and still enjoy some cultural significance, especially in religious circles. What? For example, they are the leaves of which Adam and Eve covered themselves up in the Bible's book of Genesis. This also happened to be the kind of trees Buddha achieved enlightenment under. Not only that, but it is mentioned in Greek mythology. Isn't that fascinating? But wait, there's more. The influence of figs is also extended towards the words, phrases, and sayings we still use today. This should be titled. This video should be titled "The Episode of the Figs." Take the word sycophant, for example, which comes from a Greek expression meaning someone who shows the fig, which was a vulgar gesture at the time, or I don't give a fig, which of course is a FIG-ure. Oh, he went for it. Oh, he went for it. Oh, please tell me that's it for figs. Oh, it might as well be said that the influence of figs is far-reaching as its fruit is succulent. Figuratively thinking, stop it. Stop it! Oh god, I'm afraid nothing is this. Where the letters are. Nothing of this actually helps with this. Oh, I swear, if it says something about having a pair of something, I'm gonna be so mad. Click on pair. There are two. I knew it! I called that from a mile away. There are two of them. What a nice pair.
You learned a lot about fruits.
Oh, that's just... Okay, hold on. Let me think of what they're gonna do for lemon. Actually, I can't even think of anything. Just click on it. Lemons, lemons, lemons. Of course, why didn't I realize it sooner? Lemon juice is the simplest way to write a hidden message using a household item. We learned about that in chemistry. And the most boring detail, of course. A message hidden in lemon juice on paper becomes just about invisible to the naked eye when you drive. But after heating it gently, oxidization occurs, making the message visible. I was sitting next to him in class when we learned that. He made a joke about using the method to cheat on the next test, and I replied by saying he'd have to bring an iron. Had he really expected me to remember a random chemistry class that happened years ago? But then I did remember it after all. Oh my god, if this is the freaking answer, I'm gonna be so mad. Meet me at the portal tonight, 10 p.m. was all the message said. I wasted a good amount of time, but I still had some time left before I'd have to go out to meet Reza, so I decided to make some lunch. Oh my god.
Yep, that was the answer.
It was the lemon.
Yep.
I should have looked at all the rest of them after that first one. What was it, the date? I should have looked at it and be like, alright, which ones can I make a pun out of? And then the lemon, I can't make a pun out of that. Let's go on with that one.
Fun fact, if you go into the bathroom, you can take a bunch of, I think it's pain medication meant for dragons. You there?
Oh yeah, you disappeared for a second.
What?
Anyways, let's continue.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I resumed reading my book about the continuing adventures of Sheridan and her exploits in destroying cultural artifacts. Unsurprisingly, it came to a happy end, with the evil organization stopped in its tracks, at least for now. I thought the ending was deliberately left open for ambiguity. Jeez. But when I turned the page and saw the advertisement for the next entry in this apparently long-running series of books, I realized all of this had just been a ploy to set up the next inevitable sequel. Luckily, the disappointment didn't last long as I had to get going to meet Reza at the.
I think you cut off at the end.
Gosh dang it! Luckily, the disappointment didn't last long as I had to get going to meet Reza at the portal. When I got outside, it didn't seem quite as dark as it was when I arrived yesterday. I might have had difficulties finding my way, otherwise I could still see the portal in the distance. Ooh, spooky. As I was walking, I wondered if anyone was following me, but the land seemed oddly deserted. Was everyone already asleep? Eventually, I arrived at my destination. Reza was already standing idly by the portrait, his fidgeting making it obvious he had waited just for me.
I was already wondering whether you'd get it at all.
Well, you didn't make it easy.
What a wonderful night it is. Just look up at the stars. You can see them so clearly here without all the pollution lingering in the air like back home. It was as if we were looking right into the face of eternity itself. For so long, humanity thought we'd find aliens out there. Yet after all these years, we found we were still alone in the universe. Turns out we were just not looking in the right place.
What's going on, Reza? Why'd you call me here at this time?
For one, because we're sending the generator home.
Right. Before I was sent here, they told me they would limit the use of the portals, as they couldn't afford to keep it open all the time. In order to keep contact with us, they and enable us to send things over to them, the portal would be open for just a quarter of an hour each day. Sending something back home wasn't really problematic for us, since the high energy expenditure associated with sending bigger objects only affected the sender, not the receiver. However, this also meant that until all business was concluded in regards to our trade with the PDAs and generators, we were basically stuck here.
As for the other, do you know what this place is?
You said something about trouble. How much danger are we in, really?
More than enough. I'm afraid this whole place will be gone soon. And we better not be here when it happens.
Just spit it out already.
I hoped you'd see it too, but then it took me a while to understand, and I had a head start on you. In any case...
While he was speaking, my gaze wandered and fixed on some movement nearby. It was hard to make out anything, but I imagined it might just have been wind blowing through the nearby shrubbery, except for the fact that there was no wind. Reza.
This might take a while to explain, but we've got the whole night.
Reza, look. He turned around to face whatever I was seeing. He squinted hard before calling out.
You, how dare you follow me even here?
The disturbance came closer until it became clear that it was Maverick, who had hidden nearby to listen in on our conversation.
I knew you were up to no good. What were you talking about? What are you planning here? Some kind of attack?
Wait a minute, there's no reason for...
Don't try to deny it. I heard you both talking about it in the cafe, and I saw the letter. You think I couldn't smell the lemon on it? Pathetic. You'll have to come with me to the police station now, both of you.
Come on, I think you're overreacting, but... Reza, what are you doing?
Come on, Mason, let's get out of here.
In the dragon's side, I could see the wound where the bullet had penetrated his hide, a trickle of blood staining his dark scales in the earth beneath. Reza used the opportunity to run off in some direction. I wasn't sure which. I frantically scanned my surroundings looking for Reza, though he had already vanished into the darkness. What was I supposed to do? Run away as well? Help Maverick? Was I just a diplomat? I was just a diplomat, had no idea what was happening. Suddenly, the dragon whipped around, hitting me in the guts with his thick tail. I was lifted off the ground briefly before I felt the impact of my body hitting the ground hard enough that my vision blurred almost immediately. His deafening roar battered my ears. Was this his cry for help? I could barely move, but I found it better not to try, as to not startle the wounded dragon more than he already was. It certainly would have ended badly for me if he had tried anything. I heard him take a few unsure steps before he lay down on the ground, panting.
I'm still watching you, you know. You better not move for your own good. If I have to get up and come after you in this condition, I can promise you I won't be nice.
It took a few minutes of listening to his labored breathing before someone arrived. It was two dragons. The first I recognized as Sebastian, the other one I didn't know. I heard Sebastian and Maverick exchange a few words when the stocky fellow approached me. Ooh, big boy.
The biggest boy.
Yeah, very, very big boy.
Hey kid, you alright?
I think I'm alright.
I'm Bryce, the chief of police in this town. Can you tell me what happened?
Reza shot Maverick and ran off. Might as well be honest.
Is that so?
His face was stern and seemingly lost in thought as I overheard Sebastian's conversation.
Yeah, but you're the flyer on duty. We probably won't find him now. Not here in the darkness, at any rate. Well, that's just brilliant. What do you think, Chief? Mason, can you walk?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, Sebastian, take Mason to the apartment, get us some help here for Maverick, and then we'll look for Reza. Right on. Come on, Mason, I'll help you up.
I was still shaken up by the events I just witnessed when I arrived at my apartment. Not knowing anything better to do, I soon fell into a deep slumber. The next day, I awoke with many questions lingering in my head. I considered calling someone from the police department to ask about Reza and Maverick, but in the end, I decided against doing so, as I was sure they would contact me if they had anything to tell me.
So what are your thoughts on this now?
Well, I mean, Reza is such an interesting character because obviously he knows something that we don't. That's why he reacted the way he reacted. Maybe Maverick isn't a good guy, but we don't know that. So, right, that's why I'm trying to play it as being as honest as possible, because the last thing we'd want to do is to make them angry.
Yeah, that's fair.
I knew it was no use worrying about it now, so I settled for starting another book. It didn't take very long, though, before the doorbell.
You cut out there at the end.
It didn't take very long, though, before the doorbell. Did Bryce, the chief of police, take it upon himself to escort me today? Oh, it's you again.
Are you surprised?
No, but I guess it'll be bad news.
Afraid so. How are you holding up?
Better than yesterday, that's for sure.
Let's go for a walk then, shall we?
Sure. This time, I was taken along a different route than yesterday, and I was quite sure there was more to this than just taking a walk. I'll just go ahead and guess you didn't find Reza.
Yeah, we hoped he would have come back on his own by now. Do you have any idea where he might be? Maybe he mentioned some sort of place in particular that holds some meaning to him?
No, not really. We didn't get a chance to talk much at all yesterday before.
There's that, too.
I have no idea why Reza would have done anything like that. I had the impression that they weren't very fond of each other, but this? How is he, by the way?
Oh, Maverick is doing fine, but there is plenty of blame to go around. You're right, they didn't particularly like each other. In his statement, Maverick says he suspected Reza of planning some sort of attack. Do you know anything about that?
No. He only told me something was going to happen, not that he was planning anything. At least that's the impression I got.
He's suspecting you too, by the way, that you both planned this all from the beginning.
No, that wouldn't make any sense. Actually, none of this is making any sense. Why would we go through all the lengths of our agreement only to jeopardize it by doing something like this? You even already have our PDAs, and we don't have much to show for it yet. If we had any nefarious plans, this wouldn't have been a very good idea.
You have a good point. I believe you, but from our side we only have Maverick's word on the whole matter. After all, he was the one who spent the most time with Reza since he arrived here. But even then, he didn't really have any reason to follow you yesterday, and his behavior was completely out of line. I'm just glad you came out fine. If he wasn't on mandatory sick leave, he would be suspended right now. We'll have to wait until this whole thing's over before we decide what to do with him. I can assure you this won't be taken lightly.
Maybe they both acted in the heat of the moment.
Maybe.
We still got quite a lot on our hands now, though. We have a wounded dragon and a missing human. This could lead to a diplomatic crisis.
Maybe Reza will still show up soon and we can get all of this behind us.
I hope so, too. I really wouldn't want to jeopardize everything over this unfortunate
Yeah, how about we both just keep quiet about this whole thing for now? After all, I don't think any of us want our people panicking about this already, right?
I merely nodded in agreement. Eventually, we arrived at the police station where the chief took my formal statement in regards to yesterday's event. He asked me about Reza and Maverick too. Not that I knew much of anything that preceded yesterday's events, or the mysterious catastrophe Reza had mentioned. Afterwards, he thanked me and left to file my statement while I sat by his table, waiting and listening to the going-ons of this small provincial town police department. When he returned, he was approached by someone who seemed to have urgent news. A lot of talking that I couldn't make out from my position. This went on for a bit until Bryce returned to me.
Afraid I have more bad news for you. Reza has now officially become a murder suspect.
Murder?
We're headed to the crime scene and hoped you'd come with us.
Me? A crime scene? I don't know much about forensics.
It's just that you're the only link to Reza we have. Consider what he said would happen to us. It's in all of our interests that we find him as soon as possible, and if he has anything to do with it, you might be able to help us find him. Your cooperation would certainly be appreciated, and it would be a nice gesture to show... Sorry? Your cooperation would certainly be appreciated, and it would be a nice gesture to show us that you're trustworthy in the eyes of those who might think otherwise after what happened yesterday. Will you help us?
I'll help you.
You actually get an achievement for saying I respectfully decline 50 times.
50 times?
Yeah, you cannot turn him down.
Yeah, just go for the I'll help you option.
Yeah.
I suppose I don't really have much of a choice here. But you're right. We've got to find Reza, and if that's what it takes, then I'll do it.
Very well, let us go then.
On our way to the crime scene, he tried to prepare me for what would come. I had studied biology, so I was familiar with the sight of dead animals. Asking myself how similar this would be, I wonder if my reaction would be any different if it wasn't a dragon, but a human corpse I'd be seeing. When we arrived, we were met by Sebastian, who gave us an overview of the whole situation.
This morning the victim was found by a delivery flyer for a restaurant. Blood loss from multiple wounds are likely the cause of death. Forensics is already here, so feel free to poke around.
A few paces in front of us, the unfortunate victim lay on the ground, covered by a sheet that concealed the body, but not the large red stain beneath. We approached, while Sebastian went off to deter any curious on.
I know it won't be pretty, and I'm sorry for putting you through this, but you know what's at stake here. Just remember what I told you, and you should be okay.
Alright,
Are you ready?
I guess so.
What do you think?
Well, he's definitely dead.
Yeah, rest in peace. Let's just say this will be a test, and tell me what you can deduce from what you see. Give it your best shot.
Ooh. 2 wings, 2 legs, just like the waitress in the cafe, about as big as a human, lengthwise, if not slightly taller. The wingspan could definitely look impressive at that size. The wounds are kinda hard to miss.
True, but what are they telling you?
I mean, obviously, they were inflicted with a sharp implement. They are clean cuts, like from a knife or another sharp instrument.
That is true, but why does this matter?
Well, Reza didn't have a knife, so it could. And actually, dragons don't use knives. It could have been this. Okay, so it's not. Okay, so it's obviously not the last one, and I don't think it would be the first one. Oh, that's right though. Dragons don't use, because I remember in the restaurant, dragons don't use cutlery with their food. So, dragons don't use knives, right?
Is that the one you want to go with?
Yes.
Actually, we do. Mostly by those who have the proper hands to use them, but still.
Okay, so it's not that. Could have someone who has hands. Like he said, some dragons do have hands, so it's not that one. Obviously, isn't. Let's try. It couldn't have been red. As I had a gun yesterday. Why would he use a knife now?
Right, that weapon he was using on Maverick is called a gun, right?
Yeah.
What strange contraptions. Well, he could have had a reason to use the knife over his gun if it was him. Can you think of any?
Okay. Obviously, it wouldn't be he lost his gun, and it wouldn't be the suicide one. It wouldn't be the cooler one, because who's he trying to impress? I'm gonna go. He wouldn't because it was.
This one?
Yeah. There's clearly no reason why he would, so it couldn't have been him at all.
I'll have to disagree with you on that.
Alright, so then he did not want to make any noise. It's the only other one. He did not want to make any noise. After all, he ran away from Maverick, trying to hide from the police. Something as loud as a gunshot would have easily given away his position and alerted others in the.
Right, that could be a good reason. By the way, which wounds do you think was the lethal one?
Probably the in the deck, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say you should at least be able to get that one.
Yeah, I think it's the one on his neck.
That's right, if all the blood from it wasn't a giveaway, this is a stab wound, characterized by a rather small footprint. You can tell it's also the deepest one. In From the location, it's pretty obvious this must have done tremendous damage. What else do you see?
Blood. There's a lot of blood.
The blood suggests that.
See, he was a hemophiliac, he had AIDS, he died here. This isn't blood. He was left after he died, he committed suicide. Okay, screw the suicide one. We know that isn't the case.
Yeah, I love that you can keep insisting that it's suicide for no apparent reason.
Yeah. Well, then it's pretty obvious that he died here because all the blood is there. There's no, like, drag marks or anything. It's a big... He died here, else there would have been a trail we could follow. The spiders also suggest this is where they fought.
That's true. Unfortunately, it doesn't help with determining who the perpetrator is.
Objection!
Excuse me?
Sorry, I just always wanted to say that.
Go on, please.
What about the blood on his muzzle?
You tell me.
Oh, Christ. Let's see. He's a vampire, he fought back, he had a punch streak earlier. Come and he faced Tom during the fight. What? Okay, hold on. So, let's go with he fought back. Because obviously that could mean he bit the perpetrator.
You sure it's not because he's a vampire?
I'm pretty sure he isn't a vampire. A vampire dragon would be a threat. It might be the perpetrator's blood.
Yes, that is true. I suspect forensics already took a sample of it, so it might actually help us determine who the perpetrator is. I think that's about everything.
Woo.
For someone who says they haven't done this kind of thing before, that wasn't actually too bad. I know some recruits who did a lot worse during the first time, for sure.
Giggity.
Hey, Chief, do you still need the witness here for anything?
Oh, Sebastian approached with the dragon who discovered the body earlier. I recognized her as a dean, the waitress from the cafe. She seemed distraught, which, given the situation, wasn't very surprising.
I don't think so. Take her to the department to get a statement written up, and that should be it. Sure thing. Alright, miss, we're gonna have to take you to the department. Of course.
When she spotted me, however, her composure brightened visibly.
Oh, it's the human.
Well, I'm a human.
I just love to go away. You could be such a dick in this.
I know, I'm trying to choose the least dickish option.
Well, I'd call you by your name, but you never actually told me it.
It's Mason.
What are you even doing here? Do you work for our police now?
No, it's just a hobby.
Is that what you want to go with?
Yeah, why not? Might as well go for the cheeky option.
Oh, you.
By the way, I didn't know you also did delivery.
Well, she has giant wings and wears goggles on her head.
Hey, that's what the character said, not me.
Yeah. I do a little bit of everything, really.
That's nice. I loved my scrambled eggs yesterday.
If you like it so much, why don't you take our number? We could deliver something to you next time if you don't want to come in.
Oh yay, another girl's phone number. Yay, thank you. Thanks.
Sorry, I guess we should get going. Bye. I love a dean. I love all of these characters.
That's me. What do we do now?
I suppose we'll head off too unless... Oh no.
What is it?
We've got a violent homicide and of course nobody from the department tells me. I have to find out from a neighbor who wanted to ask me about it. Good thing rumors travel fast, eh? Of course nobody told you you're on sick leave. Mandatory sick leave, I might add. I'm not here in any official capacity. You see, I am merely enjoying a curative walk in the fresh air and happened to come across you by accident. What do you want? I don't want anything. I just find it interesting that no one tells me about this, but the prime suspect's buddy can mess with the investigation. I see how it is. I know what you are thinking, but don't jump to conclusions here. I don't need to jump to conclusions. I think the dead body we found says it all. You really have an attitude problem. You know, if you weren't on sick leave, you'd be suspended right now for attacking Mason yesterday. Do you even have any idea what kind of repercussions this could have on us all? Me attack Mason? As far as I can see, I'm the only one who's injured here. Besides, I'm so sorry for apparently being the only one who's doing his damn job. Right, let's just all sit idly by while the suspect's on the loose and planning his next move.
You know, whatever it was Reza was talking about, he was going to tell me just before you showed up yesterday.
I don't need to hear you, of all people, belittling me about this.
What's your problem? If anything, I want to find him just as much as you do.
Don't compare yourself to me. Your words mean nothing. Baka. Enough. You shouldn't even be here, so you gotta go now. Get some rest before I have to take disciplinary action. Fine, but when we find him, you'll see I was right. If I have to prove it myself, so be it.
Can he even just do his own investigation like that?
Well, as long as he doesn't interfere with us, we can't really stop him from doing things in his own free time.
I see. I suspect he won't adhere to the standards of performing an unbiased investigation, though.
He's already made up his mind. It's clear to me that he won't be looking for facts, just for evidence to support his own view in order to prove it to us or himself. Who knows? He's always been like that. Always something to prove. We'll have to be careful. He'll be looking for Reza soon enough.
Let's hope we find Reza before he does.
Yeah. Don't worry, Reza will turn up eventually.
I surely hope so. All things considered, I had to admit that it remained a possibility that Maverick... But could the Reza I knew really be...
You cut out at the end again.
All things considered, I had to admit that it remained a possibility that Maverick was... But could the Reza I knew still be a murderer?
You know what? If you think of something that might help with the investigation, or if you need anything else, just call me.
I will. Oh, you're getting your number 2? Oh, yay.
Well, I think we're done here. Let's go.
Bryce led me back to the apartment. If there really wasn't much for me to do in the meet, as I was spared the most arduous part of the investigation. Maybe I should have been glad about this, though now I had an afternoon to spare.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will end our second episode. So next time, we actually get to start going on dates with some of these lovely dragons. You have any thoughts so far, Zach?
I mean, so far so good. I'm interested to see what happens with, what's our guy's name?
Reza?
Reza, thank you. I'm interested to see what goes on with him, if he actually did do it. I don't think he did, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens when I go meet with some of these people.
Alright, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time.